Welcome to the little wood shop again. Sorry about last week, guys. I was busy with a bunch of other stuff that wasn't woodwork, so I couldn't get a video out last week. But it should be over now and we're ready. As you have seen that, or as you will see, I'm busy doing a deck by my pool that we're doing with cedar wood. And the reason why I use cedar wood, it's much cheaper, it suits my budget, and I don't like the color of balau. The balau is too dark for me. I don't like a dark color. We're staining the cedar with oak stain that's mixed with the oil that we're using, so it makes it a bit darker, but you'll see it's actually, you still see the grain very nicely, and it's a beautiful wood to work with. This whole workshop of mine smells like cedar. It's a gorgeous smell. They actually call it aromatic cedar. So first things first, I'm going to quickly finish or show you how I finished the two chairs and then also the emboya dining room table. That is now done out of the workshop, and then we started with the deck. We did the groundwork, and mostly for this week we've only done preparation work for the deck. Hopefully by next week we'll start doing actual woodwork. Let me show you what we've done. So guys, I got the two chairs nicely glued up and fixed. They both are very solid and nice now. And now there's one of the rimpies or leather strips in English that is broken, and the customer gave me a piece that I can replace it with. The old ones, there's 10 joints, in other words 5 pieces of this rimpies in here, and normally it would be one solid piece for the horizontals and one solid piece for the verticals. But in this case they used 5 pieces. And what's the worst for me is everything is stapled to the bottom. It lasted a few years, so I suppose that's fine. I like to use upholstery pins that look like that. They've never disappointed me. So I'm going to replace the one that I'm replacing with upholstery pins. So that's the two chairs now nice and solid, both of them, nothing loose anymore, and the one rimpy I replaced. Another job done. Now it's for that big table. So guys, with this nice dining room table, what happened is the customer bought chairs, but the chairs got armrests. So I just got 4 chairs, 2 for this side, 2 for that side, or maybe it's 3, I can't remember. But the armrest can't move under the apron. So what the customer wants me to do is just cut a piece off of the apron to make it higher, to get access for the armrests, so that the chairs can move under the table. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, in the same shape as what the leg goes, I'm just going to mark 2 radiuses and then a straight line between. Cut that with this Festool track saw. And then the rest I'll cut either with a figure saw, the jigsaw, or by hand. I'll see what's going to work the best. And it's just on the 2 long sides. The 2 short sides, the chairs that he's got for that does not have armrests. So I'm quickly going to mark them, and then let's see how I'm going to cut them. So guys, with a bit of finagling, I got the leg section of this now clamped to the workbench just to keep it steady. Put some spacer blocks under it to protect it from the concrete floor, and it's now higher than my bench. I'm just going to split my fence because it's too long as it is, so I can get a shorter piece so I can cut. I'm going to plunge in the center, cut towards the end and stop short of the turn, and then doing the turn, we'll see when we get there how we're going to do that. So let's split this fence and get the straight cut done. cut it with a jigsaw, and I just clamped it on 2 places just in case, so that it doesn't fall and tear out the wood. So I'm just going to finalize the cuts now with my Japanese saw on the 2 ends, and then we'll sand it to round. So guys, that's it cut there. So it's now rinse and repeat. So what I've done is I've taken my normal electric drill with a little drum sander in that looks like that, and I've just sanded the radius until I'm happy on both sides. Now it's basically flip it around, rinse and repeat. So friends, I hope you can see what I'm doing here. I've tried yellow pencils, I've tried white pencils, everything, nothing on a mark on this. The best is my normal grey pencil that made the mark. I just took my French curve, marked my 70 millimeters from the top, and then put it in the corner on this, on the leg, and then just marked the curve that looks the best for me. And then I also did this on the other side. So let's cut it again. I'm quite happy with the cuts. Came out very nice. Looks like it belongs like that. But I think I must now reinforce the 2 side aprons a little bit, because we've taken away quite a lot of strength out of the 2 braces, or out of the 2 aprons. So I'm gonna, on the inside, just add a brace, the full length on both sides, but I can't go too wide because of the slot that the tabletop clips slide into is also in here. So I must do it so that I can still screw the tabletop clips without too much effort. So I'm gonna quickly cut some bracing, screw it and glue it to the sides, and then we'll put the top back. So guys, that's the project now done. It looks like it's supposed to be like that, and I'm quite happy with the outcome. I'm just going to quickly give it a coat of oil, furniture oil, then the customer can come fetch it. Hi everyone, welcome to the Little Woodshop Christmas edition. The plan for this December holiday, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a wooden deck here by my pool, and it's going to be quite a challenge. There's a few challenges in this project. It's not just a straightforward deck. Let me show you the plan. So the first thing I've done, guys, is I've moved the gazebo that is now standing there. I disassembled it and moved it to that side, just to make some space in this area. So what's going to happen is this whole block, sorry about the sun here, from there to the wall then that side, I'm going to build a wooden deck. The problem is, there in that little spot there, you see the white thing there, that's my fiber optic line coming in and running right through here towards the house. And then if you can see there's a manhole for a drain. And then also in that little corner there, you see the blue thing there? That's the main water line coming from the municipality towards the house. All of that is basically going to be under the deck. So I'll have to make an access point here, there, and I'll have to dig very carefully because I don't want to damage the fiber optic line. First things first, I'm going to remove all the grass, And then another little problem I've got is this gutter that comes from the awning runs right under the deck. So I'm going to cut it off somewhere here and relay it towards the back of my yard so that it puts the water on the back lawn and not in this block. So first things first, I'm going to remove all this grass. Make sure I mark all the pipes and fiber optic lines that I need to be careful of. Remove all of my wife's little flower bed. She's not happy about that. And then we'll start casting footings. Hi guys, and welcome to the little wood shop again. So for this week or for the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'm busy building a deck next to my swimming pool, and I'm building it from cedar wood, what they call by my lumberyard aromatic cedar, and I'm busy planing that. I'm taking them batches of 10, and so far it looks like my cedar is going to be about 27 mil thick, clean on both sides. And this is all of the material I had to buy, the hardware I had to buy for this. Just to take you through it quickly, normal truss hangers that we're going to hang our supports on, 38mm frame that we're going to build, 38114 frame underneath, CCR pressure treated pine, and then that we're going to hang with that. We're going to fix most of the frame with deck screws, which in this case is the Eureka deck screws, and then the legs, that's going to go down to the concrete pillars that I'm pouring, is going to be fixed with cup square bolts and then the deck screws, and then washers of course for the nuts and bolts. The truss hangers we're going to put with clout nails, and then also I've got the Craig deck screws for fixing the deck itself to the frame. I also bought myself the Craig deck jig because I don't want to see the screws on top. I want to have the screws from the side, nice and clear and clean, and then of course some rollers and brushes to put the oil on. I'm doing an oil based varnish, which in this case is Timber Life base, that I'm going to use on everywhere I cut the timber frames, the CCR treated frames. Everywhere I'm going to make a cut that's clean wood, I'm going to treat it, and then as well as all of the cedar wood. I'm going to do 3 coats on the cedar wood, top and bottom, before I fix them. Then of course some weed barrier that's going to go under the frame, just to stop the grass and whatever is to grow through. And basically that's the hardware I'm going to use for this little trip. And one thing I can tell you guys, if you plan to do a deck, budget and then add some. My original budget for this, I'm almost double that at the moment. The cedar wood is not too expensive, luckily. That's 11,000 Rand a cubic meter now at the moment. And I bought 68 or 70 planks or boards of the cedar wood that I'm busy planing. I'll show you later as I start dimensioning them. And then of course the CCR 38114s is also quite expensive, but I want this deck to last a while, so I'm gonna really try and do it properly. You'll see we're busy doing the groundworks at the moment, taking out all the grass, getting it level with the dumpy level, and then I'm gonna pour the concrete pillars, that the deck is going to stand on. So far it looks to me like it's going to be 15 or maybe 18 pillars I'm going to cast for the deck to stand on, and then I'm going to just do with concrete. But first I'll have to level that with the dumpy level and get everything nice and level. I don't want stormwater problems later, so I'm just going to put some extra effort into the groundworks before I actually start the woodwork. But that's what we're busy with. At the moment I'm planing. I've got the first 20 planks planed now of the cedar wood, and it looks like I'm going to get down to 27 more, like I said. I must now build myself quickly a sled to cut the straight edges on the sides, and I'll show you what that's going to look like. But that's what we're busy with. So guys, please don't laugh at my patent. What I've done is I created a sled, and I put my stock in always the dark side. I just trim up to straight, because from this side to the inside I'm now going to try to get 130 millimeters out of each board. So I want to lose as much of the white wood as possible and keep the darker wood. So I trim up the dark side first, and then when all of them is done, I'll trim them all up to 130 millimeters. So I've just put 4 hold down clamps, and I don't have a long enough piece of plywood to make this sled a full 3 meters that my planks are long. So the beginning and the end is not all 100%, but so far I'm quite lucky I'm getting them done the way I'm doing it now. But this is the sled, and this is how I cut them straight. Let me show you. So guys, I've got the first 20 planks now dimensions, 27 thick, 130mm wide, and all I'm doing now is doing a 3/16 round over on the long edges, because all of them have to be still cut to length, but that will do last. So I just want to get all the roundovers on the first 20 planks done, because we need to start putting varnish on the first ones, and we'll probably do that tomorrow. So just a quick roundover, let me show you. That's a decking board. Done. So my wife decided she doesn't like the milling marks on the wood, so she's gonna sand all 68 of these planks. Hope my sanding paper lasts. So guys, what I've done is I've now set my saw to 135 millimeters, because I want to end up 130 millimeters. Why I do that is because my sled wasn't long enough. There is a bit of wiggling and whatever going on. So I first cut it on 135 against the edge that I just made on the sled, and then I do a final cut of 130 millimeters, just to make sure I've got as clean and straight edge as possible. Usually 20 planks, batch of 20. That's the amount of sawdust I take out of the table saw. It is amazing amounts of sawdust. And there's one blade that I'm pleasantly surprised with. It's the wash blade. Amazing blade. Guys, just as a quick demonstration of how the correct deck jig works, I already fastened the first plank or first board, and I'm going to show you how to do the second one. I always screw towards the one that's already fixed, so you get your drill bit that's already been set. This is a straight joint, so I can just join it straight. Take your screw in the hole and then your driver. So that one is stuck. Now you can take your spacers away and screw the one from that side. Reason. For some reason that one was very tough, and then it basically just clearing out the little shavings, and that's the second board fixed. So the idea is we don't want holes on top, because I don't want the water to lie in the little pockets that the screws create. And this is how I'm going to fix this deck. Then we also, in the varnish that we're using, we decided to put an oak stain, just to get the same shade to all the planks, and I must say it looks quite good. I will show you once my wife has done a few. But that's how we're going to fix this deck.